The majority of viewers of Rocky IV or Creed II do not know anything about the man who created the monster. Dolph Lundgren is widely recognized worldwide for his portrayal of Ivan Drago, the formidable Russian boxer who famously killed Apollo Creed in the ring and almost took down Rocky Balboa. Although Ivan Drago remains his most iconic role, there is a wealth of information about the man behind the imposing character that many who have seen Rocky IV or Creed II are unaware of. While he currently dedicates more time to producing projects behind the scenes, Dolph Lundgren made a notable return to the screen with his role in Creed II, followed by an impressive appearance in the blockbuster film Aquaman. As his career resurgence shows no signs of slowing down, it is worth delving into some lesser-known aspects of his life and career. 20. His real name isn't Dolph. He didn't have the name Dolph from birth. He claims that he picked up the name from a distant relative on his mother's side of the family somewhere down the line. Hans Lundgren, a name even more Swedish than Dolph's, was his given name at birth. He changed it to Dolph later in life. 19. He's Swedish. What cinematic magic that the actor whose most famous and well-known role is that of a huge Russian boxer isn't Russian? Dolph Lundgren was born in the little town of Spana in the Swedish county of Stockholm. He was born on November 3, 1957, making him 66 years old. 18. Speaks 6 languages. He speaks 6 languages and no one of them isn't Russian. Maybe that's why he didn't speak a lot of it in Rocky IV. Lundgren has stated that he can speak both English and Swedish fluently and smaller amounts of French, German, Italian, Japanese, and Spanish, but is not fluent in 5 languages as has often been reported. 17. His 2 children. Annette Kviberg, a jewelry designer and fashion stylist, and Dolph Lundgren were wed in Marbella in 1994. Ida Sigrid and Greta Evelyn Lundgren were the couple's 2 daughters before getting separated in 2011. The girls were brought up outside of Hollywood to have regular lives. 16. Really loves soccer. Lundgren is a huge football enthusiast, or as he liked to call himself, a soccer fan. When he was a resident of Europe, he was an Everton FC fan, but after relocating to Los Angeles, he became more interested in international football competitions like the UEFA European Championship and the FIFA World Cup. 15. He was a Marine. Sweden had mandatory military duty for men from 1901 until 2010, which is a trivial detail that you probably didn't know. Lundgren completed his 1-year requisite service in the Swedish Marine Corps at the Amphibious Ranger School when he reached military age. 14. He was He-Man. He used to be the universe's master. Lundgren's first movie role after his recognized performance as Ivan Drago in Rocky IV was as He-Man in the 1987 film Masters of the Universe. Frank Langella, John Cypher, Chelsea Field, Billy Barty, Courtney Cox, Robert Duncan McNeil, and Meg Foster also appeared in the movie. 13. He was the Punisher. However, He-Man was not the only existing character that Lundgren played. Lundgren also played Frank Castle, aka The Punisher, in the 1989 film simply titled The Punisher. The film was not well received, but Lundgren could try to acquire a role in the MCU. 12. He turned down Gladiator. 6 years before the film's official release, Lundgren passed down an opportunity to appear in it, or at least an early version of it. Lundgren told Esquire it had no action. This was before Russell Crowe and director Ridley Scott were on board. I can't remember what happened, but I remember not liking it. Huge mistake. But another skimpy outfit? 11. Frail Childhood. This will undoubtedly surprise a lot of people as well. After all, he is 6 feet 5 inches and weighs more than 200 pounds. Lundgren has stated that he was insecure as a child and suffered from allergies, describing himself as a runt. This changed when he began training in martial arts and weightlifting as a teen. 10. He went to Australia for school. Lundgren is a very intelligent man, which we'll discuss further in the next place on the list, but for now, let's focus on his education overseas. Lundgren attended numerous universities around the world, including the University of Sydney, where he earned a master's degree in chemical engineering. 9. He's a genius. Dolph Lundgren might just be one of the smartest men in the world, let alone in Hollywood. He spent some time in the United States in the 1970s on various academic scholarships after graduating from high school with straight A's. Lundgren attended Washington State University, the University of Sydney, Clemson University, the Royal Institute of Technology in Stockholm, and the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, among other institutions. 8. Karate champion. In addition to being a genius, Lundgren found time to earn a second-degree black belt in karate and a champion. At the 1979 World Open Tournament, he headed the Swedish Kyokushin karate team and was a dangerous opponent. In 1980 and 1981, he won the European Championships, and in 1982, he won a heavyweight competition in Australia. 7. Ivan Drago wasn't his first role. Dolph Lundgren's most well-known job was not his first, despite the fact that most people couldn't recall anything he'd done before. Lundgren played Ivan Drago for the second time, after playing Vince in the James Bond film A View to a Kill. 6. Stallone didn't want him as Drago. Surprising given that you probably couldn't have found anybody who would have been a better match for the role at the time. Stallone himself feared the 6'5" Lundgren would be too tall for the role of Drago and rejected him at their first meeting. Lundgren persisted, dressing in boxing trunks and sending photographs to Stallone, who hired him 6 months later. 5. He put Stallone in the hospital. Stallone may have regretted taking on Lundgren when filming for Rocky IV began, as Lundgren sent Stallone to the hospital during one of the tapings. Lundgren and Stallone decided to spar, which resulted in Stallone receiving a body punch from Lundgren, which landed Stallone in the hospital, with insurance companies believing Stallone was hit by a car rather than a human. 4. He was a bodyguard. While planning to relocate to Boston, Lundgren worked as a bouncer in Sydney to supplement his income. He was recognized by an agency that provides personal protection for celebrities while working one night and was given a position. Lundgren accepted and became Grace Jones' bodyguard. 3. He dated Grace Jones. You may not have heard of Grace Jones, although she was quite popular in the 1980s. Jones was a singer, composer, and actress who began dating Lundgren shortly after hiring him as her bodyguard. Their romance grew rapidly, and he went to New York City with her. Jones was a major influence on Lundgren's decision to pursue a career in acting. 2. He boxed a professional fighter. Lundgren accepted an exhibition boxing fight on Russian television against former UFC competitor Oleg Taktarov in June 2007. It was a 5-round boxing match, with Lundgren purportedly filling in for Mike Tyson. Lundgren was defeated by Taktarov in all 5 rounds. 1. Home invasion. In early May 2009, 3 masked burglars allegedly broke into Lundgren's home and tied up and threatened his wife before fleeing when they discovered a family photo and realized the residence belonged to Lundgren. Yeah, the man is so terrifying that a portrait of him scared the invaders away. Bonus. Aquaman actor Dolph Lundgren recently revealed to the world kidney cancer diagnosis, hopes going public will save one person's life. The Swedish actor, best known for his role as Soviet fighter Ivan Drago in Rocky IV, says he was first diagnosed in 2015, but doctors recently told him he only has 2 or 3 years to live. Dolph Lundgren claims he was diagnosed with kidney cancer 8 years ago and was informed by a doctor at one time that he only had 2 to 3 years to live. Lundgren says he's opening up about it now to help raise awareness. If you can save one person's life who was in my situation, then it's worth it, for sure, he said. As an actor, you try to put positive emotion and positive energy into the world, and I've always tried to be nice to everybody and meet all fans, anybody, and it maybe came back to me somehow. Despite the diagnosis, the actor decided to seek the opinion of another doctor who prescribed a treatment that apparently extended his life chances, despite the diagnosis made by the first doctor. We hope that everything will be fine for him. We are with him and wish him all the best in the world. He is a talented actor, with a big heart, and he does not deserve to have such a fate. Thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, receive all the updates from our channel, feel free to subscribe and we will do our best to give you more interesting and quality content in the future.